most amazing news. So last week I went to go get tested at the clinic, and they just called me and told me I have 4 STDs, one being chlamydia. I've wanted to have chlamydia my whole life.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm so happy. Yes. Yes. Yay! Yay! I got 4 STDs, which is a very rare accomplishment to achieve. You haters could never. I got 4 STDs. They make my coochie burn. I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Let's give safe. Let's give safe. Let's give safe.
Yes! I'm so happy! I got STDs! I got STDs!
All the praises goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow followers and believers of this faith, even you few sisters, sincere ones, and shalom to the elect. So, anyway, I saw this video, and whether it's true, she faking, or whatever it is, I don't think so from what I understand the sources say. What can we say? This is a sad situation when you really look at it. It's not a thing where we told you so, which we did, as prophets. The Bible is clear. Someone asked me a while back, how can you claim that you're prophets when prophets are given instruction from the Lord? Well, there's a thing called reincarnation. These things happen in Babylon and various other times in history, which we read and extract out into, today. Romans 15, I think, says everything written aforetime is for our learning today. So we can read it and we can put it together, and I'll get some scriptures. We can also add the fact that things that hasn't happened, like the destruction of Babylon, we can see it there because it was written aforetime. But this is sick, And, one thing that's bothersome, I'll say this, and it's the truth, that the people, who I'm talking about, Edom, right, who allows this philosophy to be pushed to the fatherless, right, to the people who don't know. They allow, in the churches, this is all part of no fear of the Lord, right? This is what the churches taught us. The laws was done away with. It doesn't matter, right? And a lot of Christians may say, well, it's not, we don't teach that. We know this is sin. But sin is the transgression of the law. That's the first thing you should have been teaching. The transgression of laws. But they don't do that. Right? So then when you would ask this woman, what are you doing? The Bible says this. And you know what they'll say? It's written by man. But it wasn't written by man when we was following white Jesus. Right? And we was going to those churches and doing whatever the hell we wanted to do. It's till now that we've woken up to correction and correct these people. Now the Bible is written by man. If you notice, any one of you who's been into the church, nobody ever walked up to us and said the Bible was written by man for any reason. Even if we believe what we believe, shouldn't somebody have just said, well, you shouldn't believe this is written by man? Do you know why they did that? Because they allowed us to continue to sin. But anyway, this woman brags on having chlamydia. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Remember that I believe somewhere in the same chapter it says there will be plagues on you that's not even mentioned in this book. It says the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Right? This word chlamydia goes to the word cloak or mantle, which means to seize. And what this disease does is seize the uterus. I wonder why the so-called black community has a high rate of chlamydia. I wonder what that's all about. Well, we know what it's all about, and we know where it's coming from and what's happening. But you people won't listen. You won't hearken to the voice of the Lord. And You're meant to be that way. So when anybody says we need to love the 2/3, yeah, right. Deuteronomy 28:56, right? Now, even though we might have been in those behaviors of the 2/3, still not, Lord willing, I'm not a 2/3, but we're still following the practices of trying to be as righteous as we can be, of following the first commandment. Deuteronomy 28:56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom. Right? And this is a prime example. And towards her daughter and son and daughter. This is a prime example. This is a prime example of this woman. This is how we know we're spoiled. I don't care how you look at it. And I talked to one of the younger brothers. He said, yeah, that's the thing that's going around now. The women are bragging, especially the black woman. She's bragging about having STDs. This is not going to end well for you Eves, man. I don't know what you think is going on, of how beautiful you are, or the simps then gashed your head up or whatever, but it's not going to end well. And the Lord did this, We can, what I want to say as well? This proves we are the biblical Israelites. There's no other women on the planet that I can see or even heard of that behaves like this. We're the only people, especially through the works of our women, that are not being held accountable. So when you give them the power and take away the accountability, that's pure destruction. Because number one, there's no real leadership. This is crazy. It's almost like, what do you say about something like this? We can just read scriptures. That's all we can do. Isaiah 3:8. I've never heard anything like that, so I'm just it's just shocking, but the Lord said it was going to happen. Isaiah 3:8. For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. You see what I'm saying? This is proof that we are the children of Israel. That's what I'm making out of this whole video, believe it or not. Who else is it? What other nation would do this? Now, don't go say that we're the Canaanites or the Hamites or the Cushites. You don't even see the Cushites or Hamites doing that. You only see one nationality of people running around calling themselves queens, right? Calling themselves queens, calling themselves beautiful, saying they can have as many men as they want, as many bodies, right? Bragging about the STDs. There's only one group of people you see going around doing that. Therefore, the Lord shall smite thee with the scab of the crown on the head of the daughters of Zion, right? And the Lord shall discover their secret parts. Okay, the scab represents the scab on the head, no hair. And that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cowls, and their round like tires like the moon. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers and the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands. We had some really beautiful women. Still do. But they're gone, And the tablet and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparels, and the mantles and the wimples. So you got to understand that all attire we was wearing, we're wearing the attire of the heathen. You have to know that when Samson looked upon the Philistine woman, she wasn't more likely not dressed as an Israelite. That's why he had to have her, And the Lord then turned all us to heathens. This is why they will say, see, y'all Cushites. You want us to be Cush. But it's crazy how we say we're the Israelites, and the Israelites are scattered, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Then the Christians will say, well, no, you can be a spiritual Israelite, but they would never go over to a Holy Land and say they can only be spiritual Israelites. They would never do that. That's weird too. Anyway, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of the ornaments about their feet. Let me go on down. And it will come to pass, instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of the girdle, a rent. Well, look at this situation. You got to know when you have those kind of diseases, it's not a good smell. It's not a great smell. There was always a lot of videos going on about those BBLs and the things they're wearing, and it's the pH, and pH goes to potential hydration, I believe. I don't know. And then, the sick part about it, if we do videos and we say the wrong things and we're trying to correct the situation, it's like the tubers, you know what I'm saying? Let me say that. The J-tubes, right? They don't want us to correct them. And then they'll put it out there that you're teaching the H word. I can't understand that either. Amos 5:15 says, hate the evil and love the good. So it seems like there's no morals at all. Follow the laws of the land, but as far as your morals of yourself and, how you behave as a woman, man or woman, or how you behave and treat yourself and the mannerisms you're supposed to have, there's none of that. There's no morals at all. Basically, the morals of this society is do as thou wilt, be free. And, everybody took to it. Freedom, equality. Yeah, till something goes wrong. Anyway, you know why you're allowed to do this? Because Proverbs 29 says, when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people are mourning. Instead of well-set hair, baldness. Instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Burning instead of beauty. Yeah. This is crazy. So anyway, it's one of those videos. I mean, what can you say? I mean, all we can say is we're in captivity. This is an offshoot form of what Christianity has done. This is what the Most High has done. And it just goes to show you, like Isaiah 55, such the word go out of his mouth, it should not be returned void. So he said he was going to do this to the children of Israel. Again, this is a society that accepts this behavior, right? And they've now become proud of STDs. What can you say? Seems that they've become proud of all the carnal things, their clothes, their job, and some of them not even proud of that. But anything negative has become popular, and they're excited about that. I don't know if it's attention, clout. It's almost like these days people do anything for some form of attention, but the Spirit is not allowing me to go any further in this video. They just got to be put out of their miseries when the upcoming desolation come. That's all I have on that. Shalom.